So that changes all the time. So firstly, you have your story in, and then you have to make it in all these different other ways, and it's exhausting because really I wanted to spend my time researching the stories, getting the facts right, getting the best interviewees, making sure I'm telling the right stories, and giving a voice to the people who need to be heard. And instead, I'm reformatting something into a portrait video, or I'm doing these kind of dull technical tasks which I would love not to do. So I started becoming interested in automation and had the opportunity to work with software engineers at the BBC at a team called BBC News Labs, where they make prototypes of tools. So we worked with software engineers and designers, and we were using GPT-3. And no one was really interested, no one cared. And then ChatGPT was released, and suddenly everyone got it, and they cared, and started paying attention. And that was great for me, because before it was really hard to explain. We should look at ways, when you have a repetitive, boring task, you should look at ways of trying to get away with not doing that task somehow. And so that's what it means to me, is I would love an opportunity to make something where you tell the story once, and then the majority of the other work is done for you.
Yes, but that means there are some risks involved in this process.
Absolutely, especially when you're talking about generative AI. That's the main flaw I am focused on with generative AI, is that generative AI adds in errors. And so this is sometimes called hallucination. It makes stuff up, and it makes stuff up. Like, it's sometimes stuff which is slightly different to how a human would get things wrong. So it's different to sub-editing a human's work. I have a colleague who says, just understand no fact is safe. And I think if you say that again and again, everything you're doing with generative AI, just remember no fact is safe. So, as you know, that means that has serious implications in the application of generative AI. But I think there's still massive opportunity. You just have to take that into account.
Okay, so we'll go through that during this conversation. First of all, I would like to understand a bit more about your role, this AI delivery manager as a job position, what that means, and in the specific project that you were working, if you could explain us so we can understand a bit more about it.
Yeah. So, as an AI delivery manager, I've actually just left that job. So,
breaking news.
I was managing 15 fact checkers, really. They were journalists who were checking the output of generative AI. So we were in one of the UK's biggest newspaper publishers called NewsQuest. The name itself isn't well known. Everyone knows the individual newspapers. It owns around 200 publications. Most of them are local newspapers. So they had a problem, which was that some of these newspapers were daily newspapers, and they didn't have much opportunity to change the number of pages in the newspapers when they print. So they